and beauty still sells. You'll remember that a couple weeks back, American Eagle's marketing campaign with Sydney Sweeney went absolutely viral because she talked about having good genes, and hers are blonde hair and blue eyes. Naturally, the internet went absolutely ballistic. But here's the thing. American Eagle has been proved correct. Their CEO said they have seen an uptick in earnings since their campaign with Sydney Sweeney and another campaign they announced with Travis Kelce, who's just gotten engaged to Taylor Swift. Those two big marketing campaigns have seen sales jump, and their stock has surged 25% in a single day. So that just shows you, even though the left was in hysterics, even though they urged people to boycott American Eagle, people vote with their wallets, and people voted for beauty, for common sense, and for good old American values of we're not going to be ashamed to be white with blonde hair and blue eyes. It's not a crime to be sexy, people.
No. It's because they're neo-Nazis. They're all neo-Nazis. All these people, they're all neo-Nazis.
They're all neo-Nazis. And who would have thought, gee, sex actually sells? Who would have thought? A marketing dream, going back to basics of marketing 101, sex does sell. Because realistically, you put the DEI hire on the front page of a magazine, sorry, you're not going to sell it. And let's just be realistic. And that's not me being a bigot. That's not me being rude. It's just fact. Have a look at what happened last year. Remember with the Jaguar ad? It was for a rebrand of their company. And that advertisement didn't even have a car in it. It just had all these, what was it, androgynous women or men in this bizarre attire. And look what's happened. There's been such a fallout ever since. The CEO has since resigned. The company has indeed lost money because it doesn't work. Don't go woke, go broke. That is the thing. And in the end, hot people are making a return. So I say good on Sydney Sweeney. I mean, would you say Sydney Sweeney's beautiful? I would say she is.
I would even say she was sexy.
Well, there you go.
I don't know if you can say that, Caleb.
Controversial here on the Late Debate tonight. And, I mean, you talk about Marketing 101. The other thing, of course, with Marketing 101 is, you know, in the last few years, you had this change where there were a lot of big companies, and companies like Nike and Adidas and whatever, thought that they would gain more sales and more traction by using people who looked more like their purchasers in their advertisements. So they chose larger people and they chose uglier people and whatever, because this was meant to be a representation of the real person. And it may well be a representation of the real person, the majority of people who go and buy products, because most of us don't look like Sydney Sweeney. I certainly don't, because I've got a beard. But most of us don't look like Sydney Sweeney.
That's the only thing distinguishing you guys,
the rest of you, Caleb,
that's,
Sydney.
you know, I'm blonde and, you know, we won't go into other facets of my body. But the thing is that people are not buying what looks real. People aspire.
Yes.
And so what they want is to see someone like Sydney Sweeney wearing the jeans, and they go, maybe I could look like Sydney Sweeney if I wear those jeans. When they see the person who looks like them wearing the jeans, they go, geez, do I really look like that?
Yes.
Like, it's just really basic stuff.
It is really basic stuff. And look, I do agree. I mean, there are clothing brands out there that will put forward a few different models, a couple of different sizes. And I think that's great. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm talking in terms of what is actually going to sell the product. You put the bombshell, you put the beautiful woman, or the beautiful man, the chiseled body, you put it on the front page, and that's just the reality, because that is what is going to sell the product.
It was never about selling the product. It was always a political statement, and DEI in itself is a political statement. So the idea that you'd put fat people on the cover of Vogue, or fat people trying to sell jeans or whatever, that is a political statement to say we actually don't believe in beauty, we don't believe in normality. There is no such thing as normal. Everybody should be included. We want to be totally open to all shapes and sizes. But at the end of the day, that's not reality. Reality is people want to look good, they want to be healthy, and they want to aspire to being attractive.
It's all about aspiration.
I love that this is a bit like Bud Light, when, of course, they used, I can't think of the name.
Dylan
Mulvaney, the transgender TikToker, and their stock plummeted. I love that this proves that people said, No, actually, we don't believe all this garbage about how it's some sort of neo-Nazi dog whistle. They've actually gone out and bought the product because they've gone, gee, this is refreshing.
Well, who would have thought? Who would have thought? I mean, Dylan Mulvaney trying to sell beer. Yeah, that was absolutely terrific.